when we were working on these, the 7 in the Senate, I remember that I got one phone call from a pastor, encouraging me in regards to these pro-life bills. But when we were adjusting some other things that pertain more to money than morality or ethics, we got thousands and thousands of phone calls. And so I'd ask the church to step up and help us this year in getting some more of these pro-life bills passed. I don't think there's any other issue that we have dealt with nor will deal with, to me, in my personal beliefs, that will be more important than these. Yes, ma'am.
Several weeks ago, Mike Hubbard was quoted in the Montgomery Advertiser as saying that with the budget shortfalls that are looming, education, Medicaid, prisons, all of this, that there's a very good chance that the legislature will not be able to get their work done in the time allotted constitutionally, and that a special session may be required. Now, I look at some of the bills that you have filed, and your discussions back earlier, you had said you seemed disappointed with the anti-abortion bills, that you had gotten one call from a pastor, and I think you quoted, the bills that pertain to money more than morality got a lot more interest from constituents. Would that not tend to say that constituents are more concerned with the budget and the economy and those sorts of things than they are about abortion?
Not necessarily. It could be less educated. And that would be a shortfall, or that would be a shortcoming on my part. As I learn as I go, has been my message, just like I gave message to you guys, wherever I speak, to try and encourage those to get involved with the pro-life bills. If it is your same conviction, if it's not your conviction, then obviously I'm not asking you. But if it is your conviction, and I believe that is still the majority in the state, and oftentimes we find ourselves simply looking at having to represent the majority, then that has been my message, to try to get out and educate people, let them know we're going to be looking at pro-life bills again this year, trying to pass some pro-life bills, and the importance that I feel in needing to do so. My message, coming from a Christian background, is that I believe that you cannot get money ahead of morality and claim to be a Christian state, a Christian nation. Okay? So I think as we address the ethics issues in our state, that translates morality for a public official. Okay. As we address these moral issues, then I think that we'll be blessed. All throughout society, biblical history, you look into biblical history and you'll find that a civilization that lived righteously in the eyes of the Lord were always blessed and prospered.
Name some.
Do what?
Name some.
Well, God's people, chosen people in the Old Testament, for one, the Jews, until they...
I'm sorry, I'm Jewish. They got kicked around all over the place. So name some after the Old Testament.
Immorality entered the camp. Yes, ma'am, they did.
Name some after the Old Testament. Name some secular governments.
If you'd like to discuss biblical views.
You made the point, I didn't.
I absolutely would love to dialogue with you after the meeting, or if you want to set up an appointment, I'd be happy to do that.